Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are back for another video. Today's video is going to be the Radium expansion tank. I only got the tank for this. I did not get the catch cans, so if you guys wanted the catch cans, they also make them. I think they're relatively easy to install. One bolts up on like the body of the harness, this one, and the other one kind of bolts up on the left hand side or something like that. So, but that's not what we're doing today. We're just going to do the expansion tank. If you're not a subscriber, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you guys like this video, feel free to like, if you like the video, please feel free to hit the like button. And if you don't like the video, tell me why you don't like the video. Anyway, but this tank is actually supposed to be better than the stock tank because when it heats up, it expands, and over time it's just going to deteriorate. Radium found a way to fix that with the aluminum expansion tank. So without further ado, we are just going to get into what's in here, install this pretty quickly, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Alrighty, so I actually ordered this through PRL, and oh, by the way, I am shooting this with my phone. Just kind of want to see how the quality of this is going to come out when I post it on YouTube and stuff. I got the new phone. Apparently they use this to shoot the Venom too, if you guys have seen it. So I was thinking maybe I'd get lucky trying to use this for my YouTube videos, but I think this is the one line that you replace for the short line. You may or may not have to cut this line, but we'll get there eventually. Comes with a bunch of harnesses, of course, Radium Engineering sticker. I guess this is the most important part, which is the tank billet itself. Right here. I'm just gonna lay these on the ground because so these things actually come in like some type of puzzle where you have to kind of put them together. So I'll probably be doing this on the floor so you guys can watch me put them together. But I just open them and yeah. So this is the tank. It comes separated like this, and this is how it's eventually gonna go together, I believe. Yeah, that's how it's gonna go together eventually. So with that, here is the harness that's gonna go in the back of the tank, but also towards the car. So if you're looking at it, I think you're gonna use 1, 2, and 3 screws to hold it this way towards like the left hand side of the car if you're looking at it from your right hand side. Yeah, more hardware. And these are the fancy little things that shows you the gauge on the side of that. So I think that was everything in the box. Yeah, and it's everything in the box. So I guess without further ado, let's get started. I actually thought this was gonna come with instructions. I guess it doesn't. So maybe the instructions are online. I don't know. Oh yeah, it does say something in here that talks about instructions. There we go. It's got the instructions, installation instructions for this product, radiumauto.com. So, but all right, cool. Not sure. I mean, I'm gonna look at the instructions just to make sure I put this together correctly, but I think a lot of it might be straightforward. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is actually put these two boxes together. It comes with a gasket. This gasket is located in between these two yellow things whenever you open this bag, so be on the lookout for that. And I'm just gonna count however many screws is supposed to go in here. I don't think there should be too much of an excess from there, so this way. So this should go this way. The way this is situated, I don't think you can mess this up, but if somehow you think you may be messing it up, just look at the instructions. So, and then I believe the screw is going from this side all the way down, and eventually this is going to be turned upside down, so this is what you're going to be looking at when you look in the car. So All right, so here is the bag of screws. Obviously there are 7 screws on here. There are 7 long screws on here as well. You kind of have to know they're the longer ones because it has to go all the way. If you think about the threading, it has to go all the way from here down inside. So, and these are Allen keys. So I think this might be maybe a 4 Allen key. If you have the metric one, if you're using the standard, I don't even know what size them things are gonna be, but yeah, I think this might be a 4, so I'm just gonna get me a 4 because I have the metric one. Alrighty guys, so I was right. It is a 4mm, and just gonna go ahead and put this in here. And you kind of have to feel your way, make sure like it lines up. I guess that might be the kind of challenging part, is just trying to make sure that it lines up and whatnot. So what I'm gonna do is just put this up a little bit to make sure like this actually goes like in here. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do the top one first. Because since we can't see, just gonna have to, kind of play with it. And so yeah, I'm gonna do the top side first. And again, just kind of loosely fit these in there. That way, if you need to wiggle the tank around a little bit for the other ones, you'll be just fine. So I just want the threading to hold this in place a little bit, and then I'll work my way through the other ones. So. That hurt. Double checking. Alright, so the next thing I'm gonna do is install the tank gauge. They come with these screws right here. Okay, I think this is one problem with the cinematic version of this. There we go. They come with these screws right here. So I'm gonna use the screws. They go They go on the side over here. If you guys can see them, these 2 holes. And then the rubber things that I showed you guys earlier is what goes in there. So screw these in. I would make him slightly loosely fit. And then the bottom one, and then insert the little tubes, and then you can adjust as you need. So alrighty guys, so putting this thing in can be a little bit of a pain. If you accidentally put this the wrong way, you guys see this little ring right here, you have to push it in and then pull the tube out. That's how you get that out. But the best way to put this on is you get the threading on these. This is how far I get the threading. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be tighter than that. If it is, then I'm just gonna take it out and do it again. But it felt pretty snug where I don't think it's gonna leak, but if it does leak, then it just means this needs to be tighter. But anyway, you tighten these first, and then you put them out at an angle, and you have to literally bend this. Like, it's quite difficult to bend, but once you get a bend on it, then it's good to go, and you can put it on there. So alrighty guys, so next thing I'm gonna do is there's this O-ring right here, and this is at the top. This is not a scratch, it's just a little dirt from the packaging, but the O-ring goes right here. You can put a lube on it if you want, but I think it will be just fine. And then you will install this screw right here. It has to be a certain orientation. I'd have to look like when I get, well, actually that makes more sense. So I think the orientation is going to be this way, and these 3 screws right here. I think they're just they're not Phillips screws. They're actually they are hexagon bolts. So they go on here, and I would loosely fit this just because I'm not quite sure if this is gonna need to turn around a little bit. So I'm just gonna use the screw to secure this on there. Alrighty guys, so the next thing I did was install the bottom fitting. This would go towards the gauge, the tank gauge itself. So this little bottom right here goes on there, and then you will install the little fitting for the hose, because this is where the bottom line is gonna go. So this is where the hose connects, and this goes right there, like that. And next one is this little cap. Obviously is gonna cover this, because that's gonna be technically a drain bolt if you were to completely drain this tank. So I would recommend tightening this down with some Allen sockets. I'm gonna find what socket fits this, and then I'm gonna tighten this down. Alright guys, so this is definitely an hex screw. I think it's a 9mm, and I unfortunately don't have one. So what I did was I used the wire cutter, just held it in place and then just turn it around. It does turn pretty easily, and you can tell when it's tight. And then you use a hex tool to tighten this one. The good thing about this is even when you tighten this, you can still have this swivel to adjust as you need it. So that's how that works. And then this very last one, this very last piece right here goes, where's it at? Where's the hole? Right here. So that's your top portion. Again, tighten that down and you get this little swivel right here. And so after that, we're gonna put the bracket in the back, and we will be ready to get to the car install. Alrighty guys, so this is how this goes on the back. I haven't tightened this down yet, but I just wanted to show you guys for visual reference when you're holding this way. And so the harness is gonna go, try not to drop this. It's gonna go on the car like that. Like if you see that, I think that makes sense, but yeah. This is done. I wanted to show you guys what it looks like completely. Again, that top portion is slightly loose, just to allow me some wiggle room, but everything else is pretty much tight and snug, and we are ready to put this in the car. Alright guys, so first thing we're going to do is relieve some pressure from the coolant right there. After that pressure is released, we're going to unscrew these 10mm bolts, these two right here, that hold that in place. And then this whole hose, I guess, is going to be disconnected because that is going to be replaced with a different one from Radium. They gave us the clips for these two. And then at the bottom right here, I don't know if you guys can see it, that needs to be disconnected as well. After you pull up the tank, you'll be able to see clearly. And then you got to remove this bracket right here. There are like 2 screws. Not sure how I'm going to get to that one in the corner, but we'll see about that. I might need to be a ratchet. I don't even know what size these screws are, but let's start taking them out one after the other. Alrighty guys, just to show you guys how I'm getting this bolt out, I'm using a shorter extension and a ratchet. Kind of pull this up a little bit to the side and turn this way because the coolant is going to fall. As you guys can see right there, I need to clean that off. So alright guys, so here's what I did. I'm just draining the coolant so I can be able to remove this other hose right here, because I realized when I take that out, it's just going to be pulling all over the place. So I might as well just drain it in a water bottle. So hey guys, here's what I did. I spilled a little bit of coolant, but blocked them off with some extensions. A shorter one with a smaller extension, big one with a bigger extension, of course. And then this bracket right here needs to come out completely. So there is one screw holding it. Don't know if that's a 10. It might be a 10 that's holding it right there. And I think the bracket should come off after that. So I guess so to remove this harness, there are 3 screws in total. Unfortunately, you cannot see the 2 that are under, but they are right under this one. You feel right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, because it's kind of hard, but they are like right under here. That's where the screws are. It's one of those you kind of have to just feel for it. So drop your ratchet down and feel for it kind of situation. Don't lose the screws because you're gonna use them again. So this bracket definitely sucked trying to get it out. I lost the wrench at the bottom that I gotta lift the car up to get. But this is it right here. It's the bracket that holds this dumbass plastic in place. So, but anyway, the best part about it is we're not going to be using it again. I do have to say getting the screw back down there may not be quite as easy, but I think that's it. And oh yeah, we gotta take out this bracket as well right here. So what I did to get the bracket here out, I took off this screw right here just to give you a little bit of a wiggle room so you can move this up a little bit to get some clearance right under here. It's painful, but there you go. So now that all the bolts are out, I think that we are ready to start putting the new coolant tank on here. So alrighty guys, so I finally got this done. I had to do something else yesterday, but this is the big line that comes that needs to be replaced. As you guys can see, the line that runs right here. This is about how much I needed to cut off to make that fit. If you are unsure how much you need to cut off, recommend just cutting, little by little. It's better to have excess than for it to be too short. And then of course, this is just a swivel that goes up and down, as you guys can see that. And these come with clamps. Now, the last thing I wanted to show you guys is there is a banjo fitting right here at the bottom that connects to the bottom coolant hose, this hose right here. It is also a swivel, but as soon as you put it on there and you realize where it actually fits, take it back out and tighten that with a wrench. Can't remember what size of wrench that is, but it needs to be tight. If you don't tighten it down, you will lose all of your coolant when you put it in here, because it's just gonna leak all the way down. That happened to me when I was doing that yesterday, so I had to, I lost an entire bottle of coolant, so I had to go buy me some Honda coolant. And as you guys can see, it is all filled up now. That is your coolant gauge, and we are ready to go. So that coolant was like $26. Yeah, it was $26. So, but yeah, other than that, there is another hose that goes on the top here. It is apparently supposed to be for your excess if you do overfill the coolant. I'm not quite sure how I want the hose to run down yet, but you could potentially put it here and have it pointing directly at the ground if you can get it to go all the way down. It's a pretty long one. I think I packed it up already, but for now I'm just gonna leave it this way until I can get under and just have like the hose like come all the way under, just the way motorcycles are, like you got the hose on the side and then it just kind of, drips on the ground if there is an excess. But yeah, that's it. If you guys got any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below.